Nothing else. They don't touch the COVID stuff. They don't touch the Ukraine connection and the money coming back like we did. But when a doctor, a licensed professional who's raised the hand, taken the Hippocratic oath to do no harm, promotes true information about COVID that contradicts the narrative, look out, because that doctor will become a target of the Biden regime, of Big Pharma, of the CDC, you name it. And one of those great doctors has been on this show a lot over the last 2 years, our next guest, Dr. Peter McCullough. He, of course, is one of the best-known cardiologists out there in his field. He's written over 1,000 publications that are in the National Library of Medicine. He's an award-winning internist, cardiologist, epidemiologist, come on. And people hate him. But only certain people in the so-called medical and big pharma profession. Why? Because these tyrants who wanted us to believe that you must lock down, you must wear masks, you must take the vax, if a doctor comes along and says anything opposite of the narrative, they will try to ruin you. We've had Dr. Eric Naputi on. They're coming after him for millions, if not billions. Dr. Robert Malone, tons of these doctors that have spoken up and out, they're now coming after. The American Board of Internal Medicine has moved to strip the good doctor of his certifications in internal medicine and cardiovascular disease, his professions, his expertise, again, where he has studied and practiced this stuff for years. They're claiming that he provided misleading medical information to the public about the COVID-19 vaccines. The board states that McCullough's statements questioning the vaccine for healthy people younger than the age of 50 and pointing out that Americans have died, which is a fact, of COVID vaccine triggered a big review, which led to the recommendation to pull, revoke, strip, take away all of his certifications. He was given till the 18th. He asked for an appeal. He's now been extended until the 30th, a few more days, I guess. It's ridiculous what they're doing to him. And I'd like to welcome the good doctor back to the program so he can weigh in on what's happening to him. Dr. McCullough, thank you for coming back on. First and foremost, let's go right to what's happening with these medical board and your certifications. They gave you an extension. I would assume you've got attorneys. What are your attorneys and folks telling you? How's this going to play out?
Dan, we've uncovered a scandal. We never thought it was this deep. Richard Barron, the president and CEO of the American Board of Internal Medicine, is going to be appearing in the South by Southwest conference, the technology conference in a few months in Austin, with the vice president of digital health for Weber Shandwick. Weber Shandwick is one of the largest PR marketing firms, and they do have the marketing contract for Pfizer and Moderna. Also with Barron will be the CEO and founder of BlackBerry AI, an artificial intelligence company that's working with Weber Shandwick. What we found out is Weber Shandwick is actually has an embedded unit within the CDC, and they've been marketing Pfizer and Moderna to the CDC. In fact, the CDC awarded them a $53 million contract nobody knew about. Senator Rand Paul has sent a letter off to Rochelle Lewinsky asking for explanations immediately on this obvious case of fraud and racketeering that's going on. Pfizer and Moderna cannot be using an embedded marketing firm to push their vaccines in the CDC and with the medical boards. And in fact, I think they've used the relationship to target me and try to strip me of my board certifications as we learn more about this. So I'll appeal. I do have lawyers. I'm planning on taking this, as far as I need to. This will effectively end my career if I can't prevail. Every single statement I've made has been evidence-based. It's been cited. I gave my testimony under oath. I answered questions the best I could in the U.S. Senate. They're really hitting me, Dan, on Senate testimony I gave before they had a COVID policy.
Wow. So, basic lay terms, Pfizer Moderna spends millions on a marketing firm to push their damn drug, which isn't working. I'll say it. You don't have to get in any more trouble. And then they get that marketing firm to buy their way in to have an office probably next to Walensky's office, inside the CDC building. I'm sure there's no conflict of interest there. I'm sure they weren't pushing the Pfizer or Moderna shot for CDC to say, it's okay, tell people it's okay, wink, wink. I mean, this is so dang dirty. It's disgusting. What do you make of the Biden regime and Dr. Fauci literally on his way out the door today saying, y'all need to get that shot and get boosted before the holidays? They're still pushing it. And the White House just announced today, Doc, they're going to go on a 6-week COVID booster shot campaign around the country to get everybody to roll their sleeves up. To me, this is dangerous.
Dan, it is. Right now, the CDC is telling us, based on the COVID tracker data, 90% of Americans are not taking any more shots. 90% of Americans are not in compliance with any of this. The BA4, BA5 bivalent vaccine is already obsolete. The virus is mutated away from BA4 and BA5. Now it's BQ1 and BQ11. Data from Q and colleagues suggests the new vaccines are completely useless now from a theoretical basis. They were only tested in animals and they failed in the animal studies, and now they're not even covering the variants at large. So this big push to take more vaccines with no hope of any benefit and continued evidence of harm, I think, is extraordinarily dangerous. The Biden administration should make a complete about-face, drop the vaccines. Americans would have such a wonderful Christmas without the menace of COVID-19 vaccines hanging over them.
Well, Doc, all I can say is we're pulling for you. We're praying for you. This is disgusting what the system is doing to you and other good doctors who had the guts to speak up over the last 2 years and speak out about the vaccine, about the lockdowns, about the masks, and now they're trying to muzzle you because the evidence is finally coming to fruition. It took 2 years, but Americans are finally waking up. And Doc, you're one of the reasons they woke up. So don't stop this fight. There's no reason you should be stripped of these certs, and I hope to God somebody in that board has an epiphany and realizes you and other doctors were saving lives. Dr. Peter McCullough, thank you so much for what you've done during the pandemic and what you continue to do today. We appreciate you.
Thank you.
Yep. Take care, Doc.